Hello guys, today we're gonna start a new project. The idea for this is that we're going to have a web portal where users can log in and report any apps or games from the Play Store for having fake ads or being basically unusable. It seems like fake ads for games and games cluttered with ads have been around for a while and nothing really changes. No matter how many bad reviews any of these get, they are still up on the Play Store and making loads of money from these practices. I'm not saying that this project will in any way fix any of these issues, but I do think it might be fun to build. We are going to build three things: a frontend with Nuxt3, a backend with Laravel 10, then a mobile app using Flutter 3. We will also be using social login with Google. We will then deploy the back and front-end projects on DigitalOcean using Laravel Forge, and we will also publish the app to the Play Store. So let's start with the base installation for Laravel and Nuxt3. You can already see I have a folder here called FairMobileGames. I actually went to namecheap.com and already bought this domain. So now I have an empty folder. So let's start with initializing the Nuxt3 project. I like calling my projects by what they are. So this is going to be my client, and then we're going to have an API project, which is going to be Laravel 10, and then we're also going to have a mobile app. So let's start with this front end. We want to use npm. We don't want to initialize the Git repository yet. Okay, so now if we take a look, we have the client. Now we want to initialize the API. We are going to do this. We're going to start a new Laravel project and we're going to call it API. Okay, so now we have both projects. Let's start by opening our client with a VS Code. Then let's open a small browser window so we can test and see if it works in here. First, we're going to do npm run dev, which will start our client on localhost 3000. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we can see this works. This is the first page of a new Nuxt3 project. Let's stop this right now and let's go to packages. I actually have a collection of my own packages which I like to use for all my Nuxt3 projects. And you can see the new packages that have been added here is ESLint. This is going to help us lint our code. Tailwind CSS, which is a collection of classes we can use for easier styling. Then we have some more ESLint plugins, and we also have a plugin for Tailwind CSS for ESLint. This is going to help us have all our classes in order, and in case we have any duplicate classes, it will tell us about that. And then we are also using Font Awesome, which is a collection of icons. It works nicely on the web and also supported very nicely in Flutter. And that's basically it. We have some date functions, which is going to help us with all our date formatting, and of course ESLint. So let's save this now. Let's actually remove our node modules just so we have a fresh installation. And then let's say npm install. Okay, now we have everything installed. Let's look at what else we need to add in here. So for Tailwind CSS, there's a couple of things we need to do. We need to say npx tailwind css init. This will create a Tailwind file over here where we can put all our custom colors, sizes, and all that. Then we need to have a file for ESLint configuration, which I also already have prepared. This is the one I'm always using, so I just copy paste it from previous projects. And another thing that we need to do is we need to go to Nuxt config CSS TS, and in here we want to add this. So DevTools, I don't really like using them, so I'm gonna copy this again from an older project. I'm not going to be using SSR, so I set that to false. This is the loading template, so basically when the project loads, you might see like a small loading icon. This basically makes sure that it's not shown. DevTools, we are disabling that, and we also are adding the module for Tailwind CSS. Okay, so let's see now if it still works. Okay, this is fine. Everything seems to be working fine. Okay, one other thing I don't really like using, the app view file. The way I like to use this is using a pages folder. And in here, we're going to create an index view. And in here, of course, we need a template, and let's have something inside. Let's see if this works. Okay, this looks fine. Let's see if Tailwind also works. Let's say BG red 300. Okay, cool. This seems to be working. So let's see what else we need to do. Okay, so let me show you why we've actually installed the ESLint. So you can see we have an error here. Now if we add some random class in here, we can also see we're getting this error over here saying invalid Tailwind CSS class names order. So if we say Command-Shift-P, we can find the ESLint, as you can see, and fix all auto-fixable problems. And just as that, it actually solves everything for you, which is really nice after you've written like a long file, and you can just do that and it repairs everything for you. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Okay, one other thing that I like to use is to use layouts. So for this, we need to create a layouts folder, and in here we're gonna say default view, which means now that every time you load a page, it will actually first load default, and then this will get inserted into the slot that we're going to provide here. So for this, we need to create the default template. We're gonna say a div in here. And let's use flex classes. We're gonna make them go in a column, so from top to bottom. And in here we're gonna have 3 divs. One is going to be for top navigation, one is going to be for content, and one is going to be for the footer. So if we save this and run it right now, we can see that this template is getting rendered, right? So we have top nav, content, and footer. And in order to render any page somewhere in the default template, we just need to provide it a slot. So we say slot in here and then save it. So now you can see that this index page is going to be inserted into the slot over here. Okay, so I think that's enough for the first part of all this. So I'll see you in the next one.